big rollover. They're going to go 3 wide over the checkered flag. Oh!
Having a good season already in car number 11, Chris Pagel. Inside of him, Jason Howie is car 75. Then we go back to Andrew Corbett, Richard Cook outside of him, Jack Stead, and the addition, Leon Hopkins. Will be very tricky, very slippery. Let's hope everyone approaches this with the greatest of caution. As you can see, plenty of push from the rear of the car and not much steering ability, as it's Stuart Fawcett who gets to the race lead. Can he get it around the western corner? Treacherous conditions for the production cars as they head down the main straight for the very first time. Side by side are our 2 front rowers, and right now it's Darryl Ash who still holds the race lead. Can't get it down on the drive line. Stuart Fawcett getting a little bit of drive from that drive line and then drifts up towards the fence. Chris Pagel getting through underneath Josh Harmers. One goes right up to the fence was Stuart Fawcett. Our lead 3 cars close together as they put 2 laps down on this 8-lap journey, and Darryl Ash trying desperately to get it around the corner, trying to get the car to cross up and get some power from the back end, and again it drifts out towards the concrete, and that allows Chris Pagel to slip through and into the race lead. You can see number 1 on the door. That's because he is Queensland champion, and right now that car handling the very wet conditions, the best of all the cars on the track. Underneath the control tower he goes. Back behind him is still Darryl Ash trying to get the car crossed up and get some power drift into it. Back behind him is Stuart Fawcett. And then we go to Josh Harmon. Back behind them will be Richard Cook. Got one in trouble on the western side. Brings on a yellow one. And as you can see, each and every driver out there struggling with the conditions, trying to get the power to the ground so the car will cross up and can drive around the corner. Easier said than done. Outside the witch's hat for the restart, we'll see Stuart Fawcett slowing them right down and then trying to get some drive out of the back of car 65 and try and keep it on the drive line. Down the back straight, and he's got the wheel on full lock pointing inwards, trying desperately to get it to come around. Drifts up towards the fence. Chris Pagel says thank you, pokes the nose underneath. But Stuart Fawcett gets a bit of drive from up on the fence. And talking of drive from up on the fence, have a look at Richard Cook. He's come around the outside of 2 cars, up into position number 3, and is now going to have a go around the outside of Chris Pagel. So there is some drive up there if you can manage it. Pagel fights back on the inside. Stuart Fawcett still the race leader in that western corner. Pagel finds a bit of dry track and gets through on the inside to lead as they go down the main straightaway yet again. Over Stuart Fawcett on the outside still is Richard Cook, staying high on the racetrack, gets around the outside of Stuart Fawcett. Now he's having a look at Chris Pagel. They're probably travelling at about half the speed they would be used to. No traction whatsoever. Pagel doing a good job out the front. Leads down the main straightaway again. Richard Cook not too far away. Back then we go to Stuart Fawcett. They put another lap down on the journey, and here comes Richard Cook. Outside of Pagel, gets that drive in turn 2 again. Can he maintain it up the back straight? Takes car 15. The Gladstone car. Now he's got to get it around the western corner, which is where Chris Pagel gets the better of the drive yet again. and leads them as they go down the main straightaway. Underneath the control tower for Chris Pagel, Richard Cook and Stuart Fawcett. Josh Arm is the next one, and then we've got Darryl Ash. Again, Richard Cook unable to get some drive in that western corner. This time around, though, Stuart Fawcett does. The white flag out, and they will be saying thank God for that. One more cruising lap of Kingaroy Showground. Down the back straight away for Chris Pagel. He's got the tail hanging out. Wants to try and get it around that western corner where he has been able to find some drive, and once again is able to do so, and will lead them down the back straight or main straight for the last time. We'll find a checkered flag waiting for him. Big charge at the end by Richard Cook. Back behind him is Stuart Fawcett, Josh Harm. Next one would be Darryl Ash. We go back to Jack Stead, Andrew Corbett, still battling with the car to try and get it home, and the last one to greet the judge will be Jason Herwig. Put your hands together, folks. That is one mean effort by a big group of production drivers to, well, we didn't have an accident on a racetrack that had no traction whatsoever. So put your hands together for them. Great effort. Good win by Chris Pagel.